Humans' origin is in Africa.
Africa.
There is no dispute about that at all. You know, they'll say, well, what are you? That's well, I'm Italian. Well, where are you born? America. Where are your parents born? Brooklyn. Where are their parents born? Italy. Right. So I'm Italian.
Right.
And they stop there. And if you keep going, we're all African. There is an ancestor of yours that is African. If you go far enough back on the tree. But you stopped in Sweden, and you stopped in Italy, and you stopped in Poland. Keep going back.
All my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle paid the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice, that's why. All my life, I've been grinding all my life. Look, all my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle paid the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice, that's why. All my life, I've been grinding all my life.
Hello, welcome to another episode of Club Shay Shay. I am your host, Shannon Sharp. I'm also the proprietor of Club Shay Shay. We would first like to thank Double Barrel and the Whiskey Shop for having us today's episode of Club Shay Shay. If you're in Beverly Hills, come by for a drink in this elegant lounge. Now, on to today's episode. Stopping by for conversation and a drink today, he's the protege. He's one of the most brilliant and respected and influential minds of this generation. He's a renowned science communicator, famous for popularizing astronomy and astrophysics, bridging the gap between complex scientific concepts and the general public. He has a BA in physics from Harvard, a PhD in astrophysics from Columbia, and he also taught at Princeton. A highly intelligent educator, an accomplished director, and an Emmy-winning executive producer, an acclaimed television host, a popular narrator, a sought-after public speaker, an influential entertainer, and a prolific writer. His book just debuted number 3 on the New York Times best-selling list. He's awarded the NASA Distinguished Public Service Medal, a science icon, Neil deGrasse Tyson.
No, I got to live up to all of that.
You already have. I would hate to come back here in 5 or 6 years and have to read this again. Just keep going.
All right. Well, thank you for that very warm introduction.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And now we just got the news before we started taping that your new book, Take Me to Your Leader, just debuted at number 3 on the New York Times bestseller list.
I learned that 5 minutes ago.
5 minutes ago.
Just that.
We learned it together.
So
you know what?
Here you go.
We're gonna toast. This is my cognac, Shea by Laportier.
You got
it's
it.
It's a VSOP.
It's your cognac.
It's actually my cognac.
Okay.
We're gonna send you away with something.
You got I could do that.
Thank you so much.
All right. VSO, very special old.
Very special old pale.
Pale, VSOP.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes. It drinks like an XO though.
Okay.
But thank you for stopping by.
All right.
It is such an honor to have someone as brilliant as you are to help explain maybe the unexplainable.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're a scientist and you operate on the frontier,
okay,
half of what you're looking at doesn't have an explanation yet.
Wow.
That's the whole point. If you're the research science community, they got 1 foot in what is known.
Right.
Ideally, and then 1 foot in what, if you don't want to put both feet out.
Right. You don't want both feet in the unknown.
Because then you just float away.
Okay.
So 1 feet in what is known, that anchors your understanding.
Okay.
And then you tiptoe out there and see what's new to be discovered. So when news headlines say, oh, scientists have to go back to the drawing board on this, we're always at the drawing board.
Okay.
It's a misconception that we're sitting there with our legs up, basking in our mastery of the universe.
Okay.
No. Yeah. So
when someone says some things are best left unexplained, when you hear that, what do you say?
Said no scientist ever. In fact, if we see something that has no explanation,
right,
we're drawn to it.
Right.
It's a magnet.
You're trying to figure out why.
Why? So there's a famous line.
Okay.
The German poet Rainer Maria Rilke wrote a book called Letters to a Young Poet.
Okay.
And I'm going to mangle it a little bit, but I'll get it mostly right. It says, be at peace with all that stirs in your heart. Learn to love the questions themselves. And you can love the questions, but that means if you're a scientist, you want to figure it out, and then another question pops up.
Right.
Right? So you love the sequence of questions that are the product of research that give you a new place to stand and new vistas.
Okay.
To see beyond the walls that used to be there.
Take me to your leader. Tell us about this book. It's Aliens, and I want to talk to you about that because for the longest time we have this of what has been drawn or what has been presented to us of what an alien is and what it looks like.
Right.
And so you're here to explain, offer us a better explanation of what actually aliens are, if they exist, and are we going to meet them or have we already met them?
I'm not authorized to comment. No. So I tried to stay out of it for the longest time just because it was too messy.
Okay.
And what do I mean by the longest time? Over the decades, you heard these reports, flying saucers, abductions.
Yes.
And it was the farmer in the back 40 reporting this.
Mm-hmm.
It was the revelers after the bar let out. It was... there was plausible deniability of the sanity of who was giving the report. Okay? Now, UFO enthusiasts were eager to gather as much of this information as they could. And even UFO enthusiasts recognize that most sightings of UFOs have a natural explanation.
Okay.
And I'm looking up at the sky all the time since I was 9 years old.
Okay.
All right. So I know about the sun, moon, stars, planets, and I also know about weather patterns because weather interferes with my sky. So I'm going to know whether weather's coming and going, what it looks like, what it smells like, what it feels like. And I've never seen anything I couldn't explain. Even though a few things I could only explain given the extensive knowledge that I have.
Right.
Which tells me that for most people without that extensive knowledge, that will get reported to the police.
Okay.
Okay? And so only in the last maybe 8 years or so, let me put the marker where the New York Times reported on that fuzzy tic tac that the the Navy pilots found.
Right.
And you hear them commenting, "Oh my gosh, what is that? We're tracking it."
Right.
Okay. And you feel their excitement.
Right.
And it's a little bit, I don't want to call it fear, but they don't know, right? They're in a state of unknown. So from then onward, more sort of official sounding people have come forward.
Yes.
In the last 3 years, we have whistleblowers, insiders, ex-military, ex-intelligence agencies, and they're reporting in Congress sworn testimony that they got crashed alien bodies in the back shed, that they've got crashed saucer hardware in the back, that they've got reverse engineered science and technology from the aliens. They're testifying to this. And so I said, all right, it's time for me to step in. Okay? I wanted to do a couple of things. I wanted to celebrate this fascination we have with aliens.
Right.
In all of our movies.
Yes.
I mean, do you realize that half of the top 10 grossing movies of all time involve non-Earth-based creatures? Like at the top of the list is, of course, E.T.'s. I don't know if it's the top 10, but that's another example. Avatar. These are aliens.
Yes.
Okay. And so we love us some aliens in this culture. So I wanted to give a serious analysis of the powers and the technologies that these aliens that have come out of our imagination.
Okay.
And then ask, if actual aliens came to Earth, could they have these abilities and these technologies? And how smart would they be? You can give a serious analysis of that. So now, what do you conclude? Well, we're still in a situation where you have to ask the person, do you believe in aliens? Okay?
Right.
But let me ask you this. Do you believe in elephants? Your answer would be, that's not even the right question.
Right.
They just exist.
Yes.
Because you've seen them.
I've seen them.
In person.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay? But think of how that would go in testimony. There's only a couple of dozen people who've ever seen an elephant.
Right.
And you gotta believe me, they got this big rubbery thing that's flexible.
Right.
It can pick stuff up, it smells, it eats.
Right.
It 2 teeth sticking out.
Right.
That's shiny and it's got sheet-sized ears.
Right.
And it's got legs the size of tree trunks. And can you draw one? And then, of course, the drawing is always crappy, right? And you say, what is this thing? You gotta believe me.
Right.
You can make a 2-hour documentary of testimonies about that.
Right.
If only a few dozen people have done it, or even if 50 people have done it. But the documentary is 10 minutes long.
Right.
If they just bring out the elephant.
Correct.
5 minutes to bring out the elephant and 5 minutes for the rolling credits.
Right.
And nowhere after that does anyone have to say, you believe in elephants.
Right.
And the elephant is not the only creature for which you could have this crazy conversation. Right. You got to believe me, there's this creature in the sea.
The woolly mammoth, the saber-toothed tiger.
No, I do better than that. Those are just mammals.
Yeah.
Okay? Let's do better than that. There's this creature in the sea. It has 8 legs, and each leg has suction cups on it.
Okay.
And it's squishy, and it's really smart, and it can open jars,
yes.
and it can open doorknobs, and one variety of them has a camouflage,
yes.
and they can disappear into the thing. You gotta believe me. No, I need another witness, and another witness give a slightly different account. I need you to draw it, and they draw it, and it's this weird thing, and it's an octopus.
Right. So in other words,
just bring out the octopus.
The Loch Ness Monster would be considered an alien because a few people have seen it. They seem to have photographs. It's in this one big pool of
fuzzy photographs.
Fuzzy photographs. So normally, if we really wanted to know that bad, is there any possible way we could drain?
Not to drain it, to drag the lake.
Okay.
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 Loch Ness.
Yes.
Because it's Nessie is the name is the creature.
Okay.
We drag the lake for bodies.
Yes. All the time.
Okay. If you think people have been dumping bodies into your river.
Right.
So you could do this, or do it with sonar, this kind of thing. That's a different field called cryptozoology.
Okay.
These are people who are not looking for aliens, they're looking for species of life on Earth that has eluded the search of biologists.
Oh.
So another Bigfoot would be one of them.
Okay.
And there's if you type Bigfoot, videos of Bigfoot, there's this one famous video where this like ape-like creature, he like turns and looks to the side.
Did I give you a good photo? Did you get a good?
Yeah, you want me to smile? What did I do? Yeah. But that film is 60 years old.
Right.
And I think it was done in the 1960s.
Right.
And it's okay. Anybody else have it?
Right.
And back then, who had cameras?
Right.
Journalists and tourists.
Correct.
You don't walk around with a camera.
No.
And we're old enough to remember there was a day you were only photographed once per year.
Yes.
And what was that?
Very special crazy.
That was the school photo.
Yeah, school photo. You got your school photos.
It may be your birthday.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
That's it. Everybody's got a camera today.
Yes.
So to have less evidence for Bigfoot when we have more cameras,
right,
that's just a little suspicious.
Well, maybe they don't like the paparazzi.
Okay, so we could go down that road. I would say, bring it. Okay, so somewhere I think you'd find Bigfoot poop. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Okay, now you'd have to say, well, they clean up after themselves. Okay, wait. So where's Lady Bigfoot?
Yeah.
Because it looks awfully mammalian to me.
Yes.
Somebody's having sex somewhere in the woods. You'd be hearing that.
Yeah.
Okay? So it's easier to see that a microbe would go undiscovered.
Right.
Or some smaller creature in some backwoods that no one had been before. And we are discovering species annually. In fact, one was, you kindly mentioned I have an asteroid named after me. Right. I also have a species of animal named after me. It's a species of leaping frog that's found only in India. Only recently, like the last 15 years, was described sufficiently enough to declare it a species.
Right.
The researchers were very kind and respectful of my my academic and educational career. Right. They'd seen Cosmos, and because I hosted Cosmos.
Right.
And so, anyhow, point is, if people only have fuzzy photos,
right,
and it's their testimony,
right,
you're stuck saying, do you believe in it?
Right. The NBA Finals are here, but the action doesn't stop when the confetti falls and the NBA crowns a champion because the star-studded scorching summer of sports. Women's basketball, baseball are heating up, and we've got the world's largest soccer tournament on American soil and the first ever MMA fight on the White House lawn. Make your picks for all these events and more this summer on Prize Picks, America's #1 sports pick app. These playoffs have been electric. Victor Wembanyama has been out of his damn mind. More. Legacies are on the line of the 2026 NBA Finals. Get action on the biggest NBA games of the season and make your picks on everything. Points, rebounds, dunks, three-pointers, fantasy scores. Before the NBA champion is crowned, Prize Picks is a preferred partner of the NBA. Download the app today. Use code Shannon to get $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. That's code Shannon to get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, a preferred partner of the NBA. Well, let me ask you this. What if they called you to the place and say, Neil, we want you to see this. Mm-hmm. You got to swear to secrecy. Nobody knows about this. But these aliens that we've been telling you about, we have 2 bodies.
Okay.
And we want you to examine them. And we want you to give us your best guess, your academia. Highly.
Okay.
What is this that we see?
Okay, so you know what I'd say? I would say, I'd love to see the bodies, but get a biochemist.
Okay.
I'm an astrophysicist.
Okay.
I'd be happy to look at their spacecraft,
right?
If you've got that. But if there's if there's an organism,
they Uber down.
Uber flying saucers.
Yeah,
that's a hell of a business right there. I'm on the early shares in that one. Here's the thing: how many other people know this secret? I would ask that question.
Right.
And give me any number. Okay. And what people have been claiming, it would be a big government cover-up.
Yeah.
Like hundreds, if not thousands.
Yes.
You know what Ben Franklin said?
What did he say?
In his almanac, 1785, I think. 3 people can keep a secret if 2 of them are dead.
He said that.
And so he's referring implicitly to juicy secrets.
Yes.
Like aliens.
Yes.
If it's some stupid secret no one cares about,
right,
then who cares? But aliens?
Yeah.
In Area 51, I'm thinking if the janitor just has to take a picture of the alien and stream it out, lose his job that morning, that next day.
Yes.
But it'll be the richest, most famous janitor there ever was.
So where did these illusions come from? How did Hollywood come up with an illusion? Because if you think about it, they kind of all look the same. None of them ever have hair. They're all bald.
Why are they bald? Answer me. You answer me. Why? I want one coming out just combing his hair or Afro pick. You know, give me.
They don't smoke. You know,
give me some body hair.
Yes.
Because all mammals have body hair and they're humanoid.
Right.
You know.
So who, to the best of your recollection, who was the first person to come up with this theory that, and it's you know, a lot of people, and I think I've heard you say it, that we're not alone, that there are others
in the universe.
In the universe.
For sure. No one's denying that. Okay. That's correct.
Well, damn, how do we know that? We've never seen them.
No, so that's true, but you've never really seen air either.
No.
But you're breathing it.
Yes.
And its existence is not doubted by you.
Okay.
Okay? The other things you don't, like, if there's drugs in a wrapped package, you don't smell it, but your dog does.
Right.
So your senses are not the measure of reality.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Okay.
The stuff that exists, with or without.
So the tree falling in the forest and no one there is to hear it, we know it makes a sound.
Okay, I'd first ask, how do you know it fell?
Because I told you it did.
No, because you went out there and saw it.
Well,
okay?
I saw it down.
Okay. Right. Okay.
Can we deduce that?
I'm saying it would make, if I had a chart recorder out there,
yeah.
I don't need your ears.
Yeah.
It would record the sound. Right. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
So seeing can be believing, but seeing can also be deceiving, and that's why we invented science. The methods and tools of science have machines that make measurements.
Right.
And that's what they do. And why they do it, so that it doesn't pass through your sensory understanding of the world.
Okay.
Okay? And like I said, before we had cameras, it all passed through your senses. I was abducted, and either they told you that or it came out under hypnosis.
Right.
But your brain is participating in that story. We don't want that in science.
So in other words, under duress, and we've seen,
especially under duress.
Because there are scientists that say that sometimes under duress, you can see things that you don't actually see or hear things you don't actually hear.
There are visual and acoustic illusions. That's correct. Mm-hmm. And it also depends on your expectations, what your culture is, all of this factors in. I got one for you. Jesus on a tortilla. Okay? You know who never sees Jesus on a tortilla? Are Jewish people. Okay? I'm just saying.
Right.
Okay? There's cultural expectations
Right.
placed on your world
Right.
that can influence your data taking. And I just want to say that while that can explain most, possibly all, but
Right.
certainly most of the sightings, I'm happy to allow that small percent that could be actual aliens.
Right.
I'm not going to say no.
You're not going to totally dismiss it.
No, but I need better evidence.
Right.
And a colleague of mine was tasked, was it by Congress or by NASA, to get a group of people together to analyze the claims of alien sightings and
Right.
things. They didn't see anything convincing, but they do want people to get better data. So they're going to create an app where next time you see something,
Right.
you put it through the app, and the app takes the picture with your smartphone. And it records all the metadata. What is your longitude and latitude on Earth? Your elevation, your direction, your compass pointing, the lighting conditions. And then if other people saw the same phenomenon,
Right.
it can collate the data and triangulate on what the object is, how big it is, where it was going, where it was coming from. Very hard things to determine in twilight for an object that you've never seen before.
So in other words, you believe everything can be explained. Anything that we see in today's world can be explained.
No, I didn't say that. What I'm going to say is the frontier of science
Yes.
depends, expects there's always something that you can't explain. Always.
Really?
That is what the moving frontier of science is. That is the loving the questions themselves.
Okay.
I don't know what this is, but that's a reason to investigate it further.
Right.
Here are those few observations. We don't know
Yes.
what it is.
Yes.
Get this app, which I think they're still working on,
Right.
if it's not available already, and get your data through this app.
Okay.
And then that can be collated with other people's data
Okay.
to get more information to figure out what it is.
Are humans the original alien?
It looks like we are of this earth because we share the same DNA at some level with all other life on earth, including plants.
Really?
Yes. In fact,
So I was a cactus?
we and a banana share 25% identical genes. Humans and bananas.
What?
So if a alien comes and it doesn't have our DNA or doesn't have DNA at all,
Right.
you'd expect it to look at least as different from humans as humans and bananas look from each other.
Correct.
You'd expect that. It's
I
from
would.
another planet.
I would, absolutely.
On this planet,
Right.
most stuff does not look human.
Yes.
On this planet. And so here's one for you. You ready?
Yep.
Now, don't freak out.
Okay.
Are you seated?
I'm seated.
The common ancestor, this is how evolution works. You have common ancestors.
Yes.
So we and chimps have a common ancestor
Yes.
that's split later than its common ancestor split with gorillas, which split later than its common ancestor split with old world monkeys that have tails. Okay?
Okay.
It's all primates.
Yes.
But there's a branch that went off and had tails, a branch that does not.
Okay.
We're in the branch that does not have tails. It's apes, it's baboons, chimpanzees, gorillas, that thing. Okay, humans. All right. Here's my point. For any two creatures on Earth, you can go far enough back and find the common ancestor.
Okay.
Do you realize the common ancestor between humans and mushrooms split later than its common ancestor split with green plants? Which means we and mushrooms are more genetically alike than either we or mushrooms are to green plants.
Damn.
You've had like a portobello mushroom. When you bite into it, how do people describe it?
I hate frog houses. I don't fool with mushrooms.
You don't mess with mushrooms? Well, if you ask people who have, they'll say it tastes meaty. As you bite into it, it has a meaty kind of taste.
Okay.
Said no one ever of kale. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Mushrooms love us.
Yes.
Yeast are mushrooms are fungus.
Yes.
Fungus loves us.
Yes.
Your dandruff is fungus.
Yes.
The yeast infections, ringworm is fungus.
Yes.
People ingest mushrooms and have conversations with mushrooms. So, give me an alien that looks like a mushroom. I mean, why do they all got to look human?
So in other words, going back millions and millions of years ago, the common DNA, say you have chimpanzees, monkeys, so forth and so on.
Yes.
We split from them.
Yes.
But we split from a mushroom
Way earlier.
earlier or later?
Oh, much earlier.
Okay.
Much earlier.
Okay.
Because there's a lot that happened in between there.
Okay.
We had to become fish first. Okay.
Okay.
we are our vertebrate, because we have a spine.
Right.
Our vertebrate ancestry goes through the ocean
Right.
and to fish. So
what's the biggest cause of evolution? Because you say we split from fish, and fish are still able to be
Yeah.
in water, they can breathe in water,
Yeah.
so forth and so on.
Yeah.
Now we had to have the adaptability to be able to, we learned how to walk upright, we learned how to do all these other things. So how does evolution take place? How does that happen?
it's a great question. A lot of people don't fully get this, okay? In evolution, no organism adapts to anything. What happens is there's a generation of them
Okay.
that have slightly different features. Some a little longer, some a little shorter, some a little chubbier, some a little this, some a little that. And then there's an assault on the environment. Usually, everybody dies,
Yes, the dinosaur.
unless there's a feature among one in this generation that can step through that new portal.
Okay.
So they step through,
Yes.
everybody else dies. They have a property that enables them to thrive in that environment. So now they have offspring with that property in that new environment.
Is that what happened when, because they say some micro organisms and some animals can reproduce without having a male part? Or
Yes, so it's spermatogenesis.
Yes, is that-
That's an example. I think that's what you're referring
Yes.
to. I think roaches can do this, which helps make them so successful.
Yes.
Right? There's some animals where if they don't have a mate, they can nonetheless generate
Yes.
the zygote.
Yeah.
And then have.
Yes.
And so I don't understand that process fully biologically.
Okay.
But we know it happens.
Yes.
And it's definitely a survival
Yes.
property.
Yes.
And so you are more likely to propagate your offspring if you can do that.
Yes.
Because someone else got high and dry, couldn't find a mate,
Right. And it was it.
gone.
So when you hear, I've heard this so long, and I don't know if it's true, and you got me questioning myself and whether whoever said it, that the greatest trick to survival is adaptability. And you says no one adapts, you just have
The
to.
feature is already there if you have it at all. Otherwise, everybody dies.
Okay.
It is evolution is a giant killing machine.
Damn. I can't even.
99% of all species there ever was
Yeah.
are now extinct at the hand of nature. Everyone says, oh, Earth is so beautiful. It's so green. It's so life. Mother Nature, be kind to Mother Nature. Nature is killing you every chance it can get. Okay? And if it's not from some change in the environment,
Right.
it's from a tsunami, an earthquake, a
Right.
volcano, a pestilence, plague,
Yeah.
drought.
Yes.
Mother Nature don't play.
To control population, war, plague, famine.
Okay. More people
Yes.
on Earth. Do you know the greatest monster responsible for human deaths?
Human.
It's the. We're up there. We're up there.
okay, what-
'Cause we will kill each other.
Mosquitoes?
Mosquitoes.
Yes.
Have killed more people than any other creature on Earth,
Malaria, right?
among others. And
Well, now you
dengue,
got Zika, and now you got all these
Zika
other.
and dengue. Yes.
Yes.
More than anything else on Earth. That is our biggest threat.
Yes.
Not anymore because we pretty much control that.
Right.
But in the day,
Yes.
in the day. So yeah, we're alive in spite of nature, not because of her. I'm just saying. So back to the alien point.
Yes.
The aliens might be intrigued about evolution on Earth, which is what's responsible for the diversity of life. They might be intrigued by that. I don't know on their planet how different everybody is. Who knows? You know.
How were humans created? So how do we? So you say we branched off and say we had this. We humans, life form as we know it now, branched off from a lot of different things.
Yeah, so the best evidence today suggests that we were happy in the trees like other primates.
Yes.
Then it was climate change,
Yes.
and the forests went away.
Okay.
We came down out of the trees. Now we're in the grasses. But if you're dragging your knuckles in the grasses, you can't see a predator,
Right.
like the lion.
Yes.
So you want to be able to look above. What's that creature that was in The Lion King? The meerkat.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
If you're low to the ground, you don't see somebody coming around the bend.
Correct.
Okay? So there was a survival advantage to walking upright instead of on all fours.
Correct.
If you couldn't walk upright for whatever, because your back hurt,
yes,
then you got eaten.
Right.
You removed from the gene pool. I walk up and I don't hurt. Okay? I have offspring where they can walk upright and they don't hurt.
Right.
Then there was a mutation to our vocal cords that enabled us to articulate speech.
Right.
Okay? The other apes don't have this.
Right.
It was a mutation that proved to be helpful. So now we can communicate. And now we can remember information. How do we do that? We learned information is stored better if it's rhythmic. That's an interesting fact.
Right.
You remember some words or sentences better than others because there's some rhythm to them.
Correct.
All right? There's something easier. You know, why do we like music at all?
Right.
Because it's a way of communicating in a way that you enjoy. That enables us to share survival knowledge with others.
You said walking with your knuckles dragging the ground, you couldn't see over the horizon, you couldn't see over the tall grass, or you couldn't see over, and then predators. But didn't it give you the ability to be able to hear, to be able to smell? Because some animals that can't see beyond, they can hear extremely well. They can have an incredible sense of smell.
The smell wasn't in our genes.
It wasn't.
If it was, then we'd be able to smell the lion, you know, the way a dog can.
Yes.
Okay? Dogs never walked on all fours. So they have a way better capacity to smell than we do.
Okay.
Put them in the grass. They're going to smell your ass. Okay? So plus we have a relatively good vision.
Yes.
All right? We have a binocular vision, so our depth.
But not like other animals. We at the bottom of the totem pole.
No, bats don't see with their eyes very well. They can echolocate.
Right.
Mice have very bad vision. There are plenty of animals that have terrible vision. If you have a mouse in the middle of the floor, it's going to run until it hits a wall. Right. It's going to run along the wall, feeling the wall wherever it goes. It's going to navigate that way.
Right.
In the open floor, the mice is pretty helpless.
Oh.
Yeah. So in the genetic variation that existed for our primate ancestors, the ability to stand upright proved to be good enough for that to be important, more than if you had some variation in your capacity to smell.
So how long ago did we start to stand upright? Was it 1,000 years ago? Was it 500?
Way longer ago
a
than
million?
That. No, I don't remember. I don't have that number.
Okay.
It's a known quantity.
Okay.
I think it's in the millions, but it's a known quantity.
Okay.
Yes.
What is the latest evolution? So let's just say millions and millions ago, we evolved and we started. So has there been any other evolution that has happened since then in human?
Yeah, so I didn't finish the full evolution statement. So what happens is, if some new feature shows up within you, if it doesn't give you an advantage, then the feature it languishes and it does.
So it's like a new feature in a car. So if it doesn't give you more comfort, it doesn't give you greater miles per the gallon,
then it just kind of fades away. Okay.
So they're not.
All right. And little things. For example, we have eyebrows.
Yes.
What the hell are they for?
Yeah. What are they for?
Okay.
Sweat. Keep sweat.
Yeah. So if it's hot and you're running away from something and you got to check it out, if sweat just fell into your eyes and sweat is salty, you're like this, you get eaten.
Yeah.
You're gone.
Y'all didn't know I was an astrophysicist. I'm just saying. The better say astrophysicist.
Okay, so your eyebrows, so whatever caused them initially, they had a survival advantage.
Yes.
Even if it was just random.
Yes.
Okay? The mutations are random. They don't have purpose in them.
Right.
And so yeah.
So every feature that's on the human body, it actually has a purpose.
It gave us a survival advantage.
So what about underarm hair? What survival advantage that gave us? I probably could run fast if I didn't have friction up under there.
Why is the hair on your arm slowing you down?
But I'm just saying it's friction. That's why I wax, so I'm fair.
You wax?
I do.
You a black man. You can't be all that hairy. You know I'm right.
But women, but I'm saying, like,
You know I'm right.
When you look at pubic
Tell
hair,
me you know I'm right.
what? I don't like hair.
I'm saying you're a black man.
Yes.
You don't have hair coming up your back
No.
into your collars like they do in the Mediterranean.
No, I'm not a silverback if that's what you're
That's what I'm saying. No, so I'm saying this was the weird thing about 19th century anthropologists.
Okay.
They're trying to put white people at the top and black people, they were saying, were still evolving. They were right next to apes. And they completely ignored the hairy white people in the world. Okay?
that are more hairier.
Way hairier.
That are more hairy.
Yes, than any black person they've ever seen.
You said something interesting. I saw you say it about the Neanderthal.
Yeah.
And they compared the Neanderthal to the black man until they found out the Neanderthal was really smart. And then all of a sudden, oh yeah, we
Yeah, they read.
I saw.
Yeah, so we grew up. The Neanderthal was the brunt of all jokes.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
And plus they didn't make it, right?
Yes,
So,
yes.
all right. Then after we cracked the human genome, early 90s,
Yes.
it's the genome. We can see what's in the genome.
Yeah.
What other branches of evolution showed up in the genome. And they found out that some people have Neanderthal genes in them. So if this was 19th century anthropology, racist anthropology, they say, oh, those are probably the black people because they're still dumb and stupid.
Yeah, right.
Turns out, Europeans on average are between 1% and 3% Neanderthal DNA. African blacks, near zero.
Wow.
That's kind of hard to, you got to settle that score if you're one of these anthropologists.
Right.
Beginning in the 1990s, anthropological studies of Neanderthal started describing how inventive and creative they were.
Oh!
And how artistic.
They flipped it up.
And they said, oh, we got it wrong. They had to fix that image right quick. That's it's up, what went on that whole period.
So why do we still fight so much over skin color?
So I don't think it's skin color.
What do you think?
It's just the most obvious way to tribalize someone at a distance.
Okay.
Okay? They have to get a little closer before you know what God they worship. They have to get even closer before you know who they sleep with. You got to get even closer to know what they smell like.
Right.
All right? And the sad part about our species is that evidence shows we are prone to tribalism. If it was just skin color, you would have never had World War I and II,
Right.
which are basically white people, white Christians killing and slaughtering other white Christians.
Correct.
For cultural reasons, or their brand of Christianity was slightly different.
Okay.
What's up there?
Right.
Okay? So people will find reasons to want to kill you if you're sufficiently different from them.
Right.
And a skin color, you can see that half a mile away.
Correct.
Right.
So that's the easiest determining factor. Like,
Correct.
Yeah, you different than me because you don't look like me. Or then when you hear me talk, you don't talk like me.
Correct.
Or if I come into your home where you don't worship the same God, or you don't eat the same food that I eat.
Right.
So now
I eat it at the same time
Right.
on the same day of the week.
Okay.
Look at the rules
Yes.
that come with the package. So to me, it's tribal more than it is racial. It's racial just as one manifestation of something that's been there forever.
Right.
Right.
To do your best guess.
I mean, look at how many years did France and England fight each other?
Yes.
Over what? Oh, they speak different languages, okay? And England fighting Spain, okay? They're all Christian.
Right.
They're all white. So yeah, I don't take it personally.
Right.
When people want to kill me for being black. I just say, you're just being tribal.
Right.
And if I were something else, not you, you'd still want to kill me.
Right.
There it is.
What do you think is the biggest difference between European, Asians, and Africans?
Well,
Besides region.
well, so we all came out of Africa.
Okay.
Okay.
We all originated.
Yes.
So basically every human form originated from the Asiatic.
No, from African.
African.
Yes. Humans'
Okay.
origin is in Africa.
Africa.
There is no dispute about
None.
that at all.
None. Zero.
At all. So now, let me lead into that by saying, we surely know people. You say Americans, and you say, oh, You know, they'll say, well, what are you? That's a well, I'm Italian. Well, where are you born? America. Where are your parents born? Brooklyn. Where are their parents born? Italy.
Right.
So I'm Italian.
Right.
All right, here's another one.
Okay.
What are you? Oh, I'm Swedish.
Okay.
Well, where were you born? I'm born in New York. Where were your parents born? In New York. Where are their parents? Because that's the immigrant.
Right.
Where were their parents born? No, I get it right. So we'll come through. Where are their parents born? Minnesota. Okay. Where are their parents born? Minnesota. Where are their parents born? Sweden. So I'm Swedish.
Right.
You see what they're doing?
Yes.
They're going back their tree, finding the place that
fits,
that soothes their need to have some kind of an association,
even if they've never been to that place.
and they stop there. Okay.
Okay.
What I tell them all is, why don't you keep going? Just keep going.
No, I just want to be from Sweden. I'm Swedish.
Okay, keep going. And if you keep going, we're all African. There is an ancestor of yours that is African, if you go far enough back on the tree. But you stopped in Sweden, and you stopped in Italy, and you stopped in Poland. Keep going back. The tree, the human tree of life, traces back to Africa. So now, we come out of Africa.
Yes.
Some continue north.
Yes.
It's costly to sustain dark skin.
Yes.
It's a nutritional cost on you. So you go north, the sun is not there as much. The dark skin rapidly goes away and people just turn white. Okay? Evolutionarily.
Yes.
And then, so some went there, some went towards Asia.
Yes.
There's some dispute about whether they went south or north, but went into Asia, populated Asia, then they kept going. This is during the Ice Age.
Wow.
How do you get an ice age? Water evaporates from the oceans,
Yes.
goes into the sky, is so cold, it comes back out as snow. The snowflake lands on the countryside
Yeah.
and never goes away. Because the world is below freezing. So the snowflake is just there.
Right.
Had it been rain, the water would have just worked its way back to the ocean and you'd have this circulation of water. But during the Ice Age, you drain the ocean of its water, deposit the water on land, it never returns to the ocean. The ocean levels drop, exposing a land bridge between Asia and North America.
Okay.
That's the famous Bering Strait.
Right.
And so the migrating human ancestors, it was just land. They just walked across the Bering Strait. Then the Ice Age ended. The waters melt back into the ocean levels rise, closes off the Bering Strait, stranding an entire branch of the human species in North and South America, and Europe has no memory of this. Wow. That's why it's called the New World. There it was. And the rest of the world had wars, they interbred, they did whatever, and there it is. So, even though Columbus was a dick, okay?
Okay.
The most important thing he did was reconnect two branches of the human species that had been separated for 10,000 years.
Wow.
Okay? Had that never reconnected, that's the precise setup for biological evolution to have a branch separate away from the branch that got it there. That's why Australia's animals are so weird.
Yes.
Because Australia separated from the mainland long ago on an evolutionary timescale.
Yes.
So they got kangaroos and
the snakes are so deadly. They got the most.
They got venom. Up the
inland taipan, the coastal taipan, and the common brown.
Okay, they got stuff the rest of the world never seen or heard of.
And keep it over there
because it got isolated.
Yeah.
So you will evolve if you're subject to your own environmental forcing, and you're not interbreeding with the rest of the world. Okay.
Help me understand this.
But right now, everybody's interbreeding with everybody. Airplanes enable this.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yes.
Everybody.
Thanks, Wright brothers. Help me understand this.
Wait, the Wright brothers, wait, don't blame them because they Do you realize
Yes.
the Boeing 707 jet, the first ever commercial jet, it came from the military.
Yes.
First ever commercial jet came out in 1958. Its wingspan is the distance that the Wright brothers first flew. We went from the Wright brothers flight
Yeah.
to a Boeing 707 plane in 55 years, where the wingspan is the distance they flew.
Damn. That wasn't very far.
It wasn't very far, but we made great advances. And people who were in denial that we have smart humans among us,
Yes.
they just say aliens helped. We reverse engineered the aliens.
But you can help me understand this.
Yeah.
Why is it that we can handle heat with our black skins better? Because normally, what do they tell you? If it's hot outside, you put on light colored clothing.
Yeah.
How is it that we became so adaptable to dark? Because I don't really like the heat, but I know we handle it better than our white counterparts.
Okay, not everything is a perfect solution.
Okay.
Some is just the better solution than what otherwise would have happened.
Okay.
Okay? Dark skin absorbs sunlight.
Yes.
Black people in the same situation will absorb more sunlight than white people.
Yes.
Making your body hotter.
Yes.
Which means you might have to drink more water. Okay? Fine. So you're saying, why not turn white at the equator?
Yeah.
Just, why isn't everyone in Africa white?
Right.
So you're not absorbing sunlight. Turns out, the skin absorbs ultraviolet light.
Okay.
Ultraviolet light gives you skin cancer and you die.
Damn.
Melanin absorbs ultraviolet light and does not give you skin cancer. Skin cancer is 30 times more prevalent in white people than in black people. And when black people even get it, it's usually not in a part exposed to where the sun had hit. It's like on your bottom of your feet.
Wow.
Which is, you're not always looking at your bottom of your feet.
Correct.
Who's our guy from Jamaica died of that? Bob Marley. Died of skin cancer from his feet.
Really?
Yes. Yes. Okay? And so it's pernicious because you're not looking at the bottom of your feet.
Correct.
How often do you do that? Let me look in a mirror.
Yeah.
That's not what you do.
Yeah, the people ain't looking at their feet. They barely washing their feet. So they damn sure ain't looking at them.
So the trade-off is
Right.
you're going to be hotter, but you're not going to get skin cancer.
Right.
And it would kill all white people that don't have melanin in their skin.
Wow.
So that's why Nordic countries,
Yes.
those people are so white.
Yes.
It's not false to portray Elsa in the Disney movie.
Frozen.
In Frozen. Make those people as white as you have ink to do so.
Right.
And that'll be just fine.
So
And if you wanted to make a movie with no black people, set it in Norway.
why don't we handle the cold weather? Like,
Well, I mean, I don't think anyone wants to be in the cold.
yeah, they do.
So-
Some of them do. Like
Yeah.
those, like you said, Norway, those Icelandic.
Yeah. Well, they don't mind it, I think.
Yes.
So the thing about dark skin is if it's cold out, you will absorb more sunlight to keep you warm.
Right.
Okay, you have to put on fewer clothes to stay warm in that way.
Okay.
And I've done that knowing the physics of this. I've taken full advantage of that.
Right. You know what? I think the biggest thing is, and I remember hearing my grandfather said it. He was a farmer, and he was talking about.
Where was this?
He was in Georgia.
Georgia.
I'm from South Georgia, and he believed it because the weather. He said the weather changed, and he said, "Yeah, Mary, they messing with that moon again." Some people don't believe it. They say, "Man, they went to Hollywood. They got into a studio
The moon landing.
The moon landing. You know exactly where I was going with this. Can we prove the moon landing actually happened?
I'm not authorized to comment. So, let me offer you a couple of perspectives.
Okay.
So, I had this conversation with someone, otherwise educated man,
Yes.
rational,
Yes.
and I said to him, after he came after me and said, he was citing things that were out of his expertise.
Right.
Like, how come every picture we see from the moon there are no stars in the sky when
Right.
you should see stars.
Right.
He doesn't understand photography.
Right.
If you are exposed for the bright, because there's no atmosphere, so the sky is not glowing. You will see the sun and stars in the sky at the same time.
Right.
But a photograph can only take one exposure. And if it exposes for the sunlit people, Buzz Aldrin posing in the picture,
Right.
that exposure frame is not long enough to capture the much dimmer stars in the night sky. He doesn't know this, but he's citing it as evidence that we didn't go to the moon.
Right.
This is irresponsible. Go learn something before you start lobbing evidence against
Right.
something that you don't know anything about.
Right.
Okay. So I said, what would prove to you that we landed on the moon? You tell me. He said, a photograph of the landing site. I said, okay. So the next day, I handed him a website. Go on that website. And it's pictures, because we went back to the moon with an orbiting reconnaissance camera, and we saw the website. So, and I gave him the pointer to the actual photo,
Right.
Because there's a million photos there.
Correct.
And you can see the tracks
Yes.
from the rover,
Yeah.
and the landing from the LEM. And he said, I saw it, but I looked at the bottom corner, and it said it had the NASA logo as well as the Japan logo, because it was a Japanese-American collaboration.
Right.
And because of the NASA logo, that's still the U.S. government, and so I don't trust that it's real. And I said to him, I gave you exactly what you asked me to give you, and you still don't believe it. So the conversation is over. And just be glad you live in a country where you can believe whatever the hell you want.
Right.
And we're not going to put you in jail for it.
Right.
Because it's a free country. I just don't want him to ever become head of NASA.
Right. So in other words, with your expertise, you don't go back and forth with people.
No,
When
I will to some level.
Yes.
But if they reject the evidence that they asked me to supply,
Right.
then
Then what's the point at that point?
where are you going with that?
Right.
I can't take that any further. And so, plus, you saw the Saturn V rocket launch. Where do you think that was going? To the Piggly Wiggly down the street? No. You can calculate how much fuel is in the rocket.
Right.
It's enough fuel to go into orbit, to go to the moon, orbit the moon, come back to Earth. That's how much fuel was in there. Do the math. Oh, no, they can't do the math, so we're stuck. I'm stuck hitting them on the head about this.
Right.
So, here's a fun story. You ready?
Yep.
So, NASA, the government says, NASA, Russia's going to beat us to the moon. We have to get there. We're not ready.
Yes.
We have to fake it.
Yes.
So, we know who could do it for us. Let's go to Hollywood. They go to Hollywood, top secret meeting. The best producers, set designers said, we got to fake the moon landing.
Right.
So they go away, study it, and come back, and they say, we could fake the moon landing for you, but we think it'll be more convincing if we shoot it on location. There it is.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
But then you get Artemis 2. That's like, man, that wasn't real. Man, they ain't do nothing but go up in there a little. They went up about 1,000 feet and just circled and talk about they were in orbit. Do you get to, because you know,
So these are people, so think about it.
Okay.
What a compliment it is of modern civilization that we have people walking among us who are in denial of how far we've come in our science and technology. Isn't that a beautiful thing?
They should not be denying technology because you go to the airport, they got scanned everything. I mean, you can be thinking something and go to Google. I'm like, who had my phone? How you know I was thinking about this? I was thinking about how does it? I'm like, hold on, wait a minute now. Y'all doing too A. It make you want to turn your phone off.
You sound like your grandfather now. Who are you?
Yes. I want to turn my phone off when I'm thinking to myself. How does it do that?
It's listening.
I ain't say nothing.
No, so you have to watch out because we're very bad data-taking devices.
Right.
So we tend to remember the hits and forget the misses. Okay?
Yes.
You're having thoughts all the time.
Yes.
And you look at your pad and it doesn't match your thought.
Yeah.
So nothing.
Yeah.
You don't make a big deal of that because nothing matched.
Yes.
once in the last month, out of the 10,000 ads you saw, it happened to match when you thought about it, and you want to think something deep is going on. This is a susceptibility of the human mind wanting to put meaning into something that is otherwise random.
Oh. So that's how fortune tellers get us.
All the time.
So they'll give you one thing that have actually, well, your father did this, or your grandmother.
And you're not even paying attention. You don't even register that because none of that's true.
Right.
But they hit one. How did you know?
How did you know that?
Yes.
And then before you know it, you done emptied your bank account.
Here's what happened. I taught a class, an evening class, adult class in astrophysics. This is at the planetarium.
Would you have 2 people in there?
No. More people like the universe than just 2 people. So about halfway through, a woman comes up to me. Weren't many people in class, 25 or something. And she says, I got to level with you. I'm a professional astrologer, and I'm taking your class to see if I can learn some things to help out.
Right.
So I said, okay, welcome. Okay. And she said, well, what's your star sign? And I said, well, if you're a professional astrologer, you ought to be able to figure that out. Is that too much to ask? She said, okay. And she said, Gemini. I said, no. Then she said, oh, it must be Leo. I said, no. And then, I know, it's Cancer. I said, no. On the 8th guess, 8 out of how many? 12. She gets the right answer.
I knew it.
And she said, I knew it. People don't understand statistics. So, I don't know. So, I worry? The aliens come and they see all of this. They see us killing each other.
Yeah.
For, like I said, for all these reasons, skin color, who you pray to.
Yeah.
They'll see that. And they'll see people who think Earth is flat, that we never went to the moon, even though we have all manner of hardware on the moon.
Right.
If they say we didn't go to the moon, they have to admit that we didn't go to the moon 9 times.
Right.
Okay?
Yes.
We didn't go to the moon 9 times. What's that about? Okay? 9 missions went to the moon.
Right.
And so they'll see all of this. They'll see people denying the claims of scientists. And they'll wonder, what? And they'll rush home.
Yeah, they said we ain't fooling with them.
And report there's no sign of intelligent life on Earth.
Sometimes I don't know if I would disagree with them.
No, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
I knew you'd help me understand this.
What?
I've never been there. I do want to go because I want to see it. The pyramids at Giza.
Yeah, I haven't seen them either.
But you got to explain how. With not the machinery, the equipment that we have today, how did they put that up?
I'm not authorized. Stop. You have been influenced by people who are in denial.
Denial. Not the river.
In denial of a brilliant African civilization. Last I checked, Egypt is in Africa. And the people leading the charge of disbelief tend to be Europeans.
Not from Africa.
Okay? The Europeans come in because what was Europe doing 2000 BC? Nothing much happening back then. Okay? And living in huts or whatever they were doing, it was not the brilliant civilization going on in Africa.
Right.
Africa. The Nile would flood, the irrigation, the architecture, the science, the civilization that represented.
The Hanging Gardens of Babylon. Temple of Artemis.
Okay.
Halicarnassus.
These are, well, except when you go to the Greece and Rome, well, that's Europe.
Yeah.
And so
they say they can have an explanation of how that happened.
Because that's their own people.
That's my point.
So I'm tired. I'm gonna sound like Martin Luther King. I'm tired of having people, deny the intellect of Africans in Egypt 5,000 years ago. And so look at who primarily is in denial of it. And doesn't mean I didn't like or enjoy the movie with the ring. Stargate.
Okay.
Love me some Stargate.
Okay.
But it's aliens coming through a Stargate into Egypt and creating that civilization.
Right.
Once again, in denial
of what actually happened.
Of dark-skinned people having that ability.
Right.
So, you look at it, how did they do that? They were smart. How could they build it? They had a lot of people.
Right.
Still, how's it? They took a lot of time.
Right.
It wasn't built overnight.
Right.
It wasn't built by a few people. Smart people. One of them, I think, was Imhotep, was one of the architects, one of the architects from ancient Egypt. So I have no hesitation recognizing the role that local Egyptians played in building that empire.
Wow. Zodiac. Do the Zodiac, do they actually mean, because Doc, you know how women are. What's your sign? I knew it. You a water sign, or you a this or that. Yeah.
They only say I knew it after you gave them the answer.
But I'm saying it's like,
they only say they knew it after they gave the answer. But go on.
Like, okay, I'm a Cancer, crab, that's a water sign, or you're this, or you're Capricorn, or you're a Sagittarius, or you're a Leo, you're not a Taurus, or I'm like, I don't know what that. Who came up with the zodiac signs and put a meaning that people buy into? People actually believe that they fall up under this sign, and because they said, okay, you're compassionate, you're this and you're that, and people believe it.
So, in all fairness to people, let me just give a shout out, to our species. If you go back far enough, when we're agrarian. When do you plant seeds? How do you know? Oh, because this constellation is here in the sky at this time of night. It's not in that part of the sky 3 months from now.
Right.
2 months ago, now.
Right.
When are you going to harvest? Well, when this other constellation is right here.
Okay.
It must know about my crops. It must care.
Right.
It must think about this.
Right.
It all revolves around me.
Yes.
You're at the center of all this motion. So how could you think anything else? Plus, your religious book puts Earth in the middle and everything is in the service of you. Everything.
Right.
This is a pre-scientific era where our ego knew no limits. We invent the telescope.
Yes.
We find out the stars are at different distances in space.
Right.
It's not just on a dome where we connect the dots. The dots are actually distributed throughout space.
Right.
And you want to put a pattern on these random ass stars in the sky? Really? And I told you we will see patterns even when they're not actually there.
Right.
Because that's a human thing to do. We're going to see Jesus in the tortilla. He's going to be in the tortilla and in the waffle or whatever your waffle iron is going to do.
Yes.
So once we learned the universe, these are not discrete patterns sitting on a surface.
Right.
The stars spread out in space. Once we learned this, the idea that these mythological entities that were layered onto the sky by sleepless Babylonians and Greek and Romans, it's untenable in the face of that knowledge. And if you do experiments, if they fail every time. So here's a good experiment, which no one gets you to do. What would it be? They say that where the sun is in the sky when you're born, that's your sign.
Right.
So you probably know your sign. What is it?
I'm a Cancer.
Cancer. And what's your birthday?
June 26th.
Okay. Do you realize 2,000 years ago, the sun was in the constellation Cancer on June 26th?
Yeah.
It's not there anymore. The correspondence of the sun has shifted against the background stars over the last 2,000 years. So it's an entire constellation off from the origins of the zodiac.
Right.
So, and not only that, Scorpius, okay? Do you realize when the sun enters Scorpius, because it's our movement around the sun,
right,
where we see it appear in front of stars.
Right.
When the sun enters Scorpius, it then exits Scorpius before the month is over and goes into another constellation,
right,
called Ophiuchus. You ever hear Ophiuchus?
No.
The sun spends more time in Ophiuchus than in Scorpius. Most people who think they're Scorpius are actually Ophiuchans, and all Scorpions and Ophiuchans are currently Librans, because that's where the sun is right now when you were born.
Wow.
Now go pay someone to read your horoscope.
Is it true? I've heard this, I don't know if this is a myth, you're going to clear it up right here today, that we only use 10% of our brain.
No.
We use more or less.
It was never true.
Okay.
But it's not going away because teachers love it. An underperforming student, you're only using 10% of your brain, reach in for more of it.
Yeah.
So I think the way it goes is there was in brain research, you can't just experiment on people's brains.
Right.
It's unethical.
Right.
The best you can do.
Can you a lobotomy?
Best you can do is wait for somebody to come in with a brain injury.
Right.
Okay? There's like a spike goes through here.
Yeah.
And then they lose their language.
Okay.
Another spike goes through here and they go blind, but they can still speak. Or they can make noises, but they make gibberish.
Yeah.
So you can make a pattern of what's going on if that repeats with everyone. Well, maybe, is the brain the same for everybody? We don't know.
No.
Test it. Okay. What the guy said in the 19th century was, the brain is so complex. I forgot who said this. The brain is so complex, we only know what 10% of it is used for.
And we took that to mean that we only use 10% of our brain.
And that's what led, without that, you couldn't have the movie Lucy. Did you see Lucy?
I did not.
Scarlett Johansson.
Okay.
Morgan Freeman. Check it out. She's drug smuggling with a chemical sewn into her body, and the bag breaks, and it makes her completely brilliant.
Okay.
Okay? And all the psychologists are trying to understand it.
Right.
And Morgan Freeman, he says, she's now using 20% of her brain.
Okay, I do.
And then things happen.
Yeah.
And then she can start like stopping bullets.
Yeah.
She's now 50% of her brain.
Yes.
Okay. And so as more and more of her brain gets used, she has powers that go beyond her body.
Right.
Which is not a thing. I talk about it in here.
Right.
I say, if you're really, really smart, you're not moving things with your fingers.
Right.
You'll just solve problems faster.
Right.
That's all.
That's it.
That's it. Okay. So, yeah.
Flat earthers. Do they annoy you?
No, I just don't bring them when you meet the alien. I want to leave a good impression on the alien, okay? Leave him at home. Say, I'll get back to you.
Antarctica.
Oh, by the way,
yes.
Did you see Begonia?
I have not.
Okay. So it's a alien movie, okay? And
you don't believe in aliens, but you like watching those movies.
I like movies.
Okay.
I like being entertained.
Okay.
With big budget movies.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
Provided they have some story in them. Big budget doesn't always equal good story.
Right.
Lately. There's a point, spoiler alert,
right,
where she meets the aliens.
Right.
Fine. But the aliens are standing around a table and there's a model of the flat earth there. No. I'm going to give you the alien, but I'm not giving you the flat earth.
Right.
So this was like a catch basin for like people who are saying there's a conspiracy to hide all this information. Right. So, yeah, no, flat earth, take that. Just stay home with that.
Did people ever live in Antarctica?
No. No.
So there
were animals there before the Ice Age.
So the mammoth?
I don't think so. I don't know. I can't answer that. But there are fossils of prehistoric animals in Antarctica before it was iced over.
Right.
So
the possibility
this is climate change from continental drift.
Right.
And that's the kind of thing that'll bring one species in, take 10 species out. Yeah.
So to the best of your estimate, no person has ever
people. Definitely not humans. No.
Wow.
And Antarctica has a lake that's submerged beneath the ice. Liquid lake. It's called Lake Vostok. I think it was discovered by the Russians. I forgot how long. It has not been in contact with our air or our biosphere for some huge length of time. Forgive me, I don't remember how long, but significant amount of time relative to recent evolution.
Right.
It's being held up as a test bed for alien evolution in water repositories on other planets.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't want to contaminate it with any life form that thrives today.
Right.
Because it's life forms, it's a record
Right.
of life forms that existed back when the thing got sealed over.
Do you believe the bottom of the ocean is as fascinating as space?
Yeah, it's just much harder to get to.
Really?
Oh yeah.
What makes going down there so much more difficult than going up there?
Because do you know the atmospheric pressure around us right now?
Yes.
Okay, let's just call it 1 atmosphere.
Yes.
Numerically, it's 14.7 pounds per square inch.
Okay.
This is 1 atmosphere.
Yes.
Okay. When you go into space, do you know the air pressure?
No, I do not.
0. So what's the difference between sea level and space?
Right.
Is 1 atmosphere. You go in the ocean.
Yes.
Every several meters, I forgot the number, is a whole extra atmosphere's worth of water pressure on top of you.
Okay.
That's why that submersible imploded and everybody died on it a few months ago. I forgot what the expedition was.
I know.
Yeah, it was in the news.
Yes.
Right? The deeper down you go,
The more pressure.
the more pressure you feel and the more stress your vessel is under.
Yes.
It's much harder to build something where you stay alive under those pressures than it is to stay alive in space. So we know more about the surface of the moon than we know about the surface of the ocean.
Somehow the animals find it just fine to just be able to go down there and chill out. Whales,
That's right. But we
squids,
didn't evolve there, so we're not capable of. And by the way, back there, this where is literally where the sun don't shine.
Right.
So they have pretty useless eyeballs.
Right.
They'll have vestigial eyes that they may have had at another time, but then they didn't use them. They didn't need them, and so the sockets are still there.
Right.
But they're just not getting
Do
used.
you think we are as interested in what's down there as we are what's up there?
No. Anything in space, I'm surely biased right now.
Yes.
But maybe not.
Right.
Everything in space is more interesting than everything on Earth.
Right.
I'll give an example. Not everything, but let's say there's an 8th grade class of kids.
Okay.
And you study volcanoes. So you're a geologist, and you come and say, I like volcanoes.
Right.
And here's like, Vesuvius.
Wow.
And that blew up in ancient Rome. And here's and you just go on. Everybody say, wow, wow, wow. And I wait till you're done. And then I come in. They say, this volcano on Mars is the single largest mountain in the entire solar system. On Jupiter's moon, Io, is the most volcanically active place in all of our sector of the galaxy. And I'll show pictures of it, plumes coming up. Volcanoes on planets.
Wow.
Not volcano. And then I win. Because it's a volcano in space. I got another one. Ready?
Yeah.
On Europa and on Enceladus, it is so cold, but it's warm underneath. It gurgles up, punches through the ice, and you have ice volcanoes on these moons.
Wow.
Ice volcanoes. I got the whole class. You out of a job.
The size of Africa on the map.
Don't get me started.
Africa is bigger than what they portray on the map, or is it smaller than what they portray on the map?
On flat maps, there are distortions in the north and in the south.
Okay.
And Africa straddles the equator.
Yes.
Okay? So on those maps, the most accurate sized things are along the equator.
Okay.
As you move away, things get artificially bigger because of the projection.
Okay.
And North America looks huge. Do you realize you can fit the continental United States, you can fit 5 of them into Africa? 5.
Wow.
And we make a big deal of what state you're from. Oh, you're just from Africa. You're not going to take the time to learn what countries are in Africa? Like, really?
Yeah.
You learn every state in the Union, and Africa can fit 5 of those. Right. So, yeah. So it's not that Africa is too small or large. It's that North America and Europe are distortedly large relative to Africa.
Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, they're in a race to get to space. Have they called you and said, hey, Doc, help us out?
They don't need my help.
The quickest, safest way?
They don't need my help. Plus, they're doing different things. Bezos, he's got this, you go up and you come back.
Right.
Right? Elon can actually put things into orbit. Two very different spacecraft.
Right.
And Bezos is, how long is that ride? 20 minutes at most? Something like that? You don't need bathrooms on board unless you have bladder problems.
Right.
If you have bladder problems, you shouldn't be going up anyway.
Going up in space,
All right. Whereas Elon will put you into orbit. Mm-hmm. And he has a much more significant space operation going on than Bezos or Branson or, the billionaire boys space race. So, yeah, I'm not eager to go into, quote, space.
Right.
Because to everybody who asks me that, they're talking about these going up and coming back.
Right.
If you shrunk Earth to the size of a schoolroom globe, I ask you, how high above that would you find the International Space Station? Just take a guess.
A couple of miles.
From the schoolroom globe?
Yeah.
Okay. The space station is 0.4 of an inch above the surface.
That's it?
Bezos and Branson, when they send people up in their little rocket, the thickness of 2 dimes above Earth's surface, if Earth were a schoolroom globe. As an astrophysicist, I cannot embrace that as space.
Right.
Space, send me somewhere. Moon, Mars, beyond.
Yeah.
Then I'll go.
Well, Musk wants to populate Mars.
Yeah,
you interested in that?
No. Well, yeah, provided he sends his mother first.
You're not going to be the guinea pig.
I don't want to be anybody guinea pig. Yeah. And I would go to visit. I wouldn't go to stay. Do you realize Antarctica is warmer, balmier, and wetter than any place on Mars? Yet nobody's lining up to build condos in Antarctica.
Yeah. What is this? And I guess I'm asking the wrong person. But what's the fascination about putting having people go to another planet or go to have people to be out of space? What is that fascination?
To go where no man has gone before.
Bro, Star Trek, huh?
Just because you don't feel it doesn't mean others wouldn't.
You think people would actually want to live?
There was already a company called Mars One that would get people to sign up for one-way trips to Mars. They went out of business because they couldn't raise money enough to do it, because it's way cheaper to send somebody there one way than to bring him back.
Of course.
So it'd be like the old Mayflower,
Yes.
And I spoke with the guy, the entrepreneur. He was Dutch, by the way, which was a little surreal because the Dutch East India Trading Company came right behind Columbus to sell you stuff in the New World. So I spoke to him and I said, are people interested in doing this? Yes, there's a waiting list. For my podcast, we interviewed one of the people who had signed up.
Yes.
Kind of geeky guy.
Yes.
My type. And I said, well, why do you want to go? He said, because it's fascinating. It's a frontier. I'd love to. And you're not coming back? You okay with it? Yeah. And I said, what does your wife think about this? And he said, oh, she's encouraging it. I didn't want to give him a lesson in relationships.
Yeah, she over you, bro.
In that moment, I didn't want to be the one.
Yes.
But
she's over him, right?
Right.
Okay.
So, here's the thing. When the Mayflower landed in the New World,
yes,
and they got off the ship, they could breathe the air.
Yes.
If there's a broken part of the ship, the trees in the New World are made of wood,
right,
and they could repair it. There were other human beings waiting to feed them when they landed. That was a one-way trip, but the destination was very different than from Mars, where Martians aren't waiting to feed them.
Right.
They can't breathe the air. There are no trees. Not that you would repair a spaceship with wood.
Right.
But, so, yeah, I don't see that happening anytime soon.
What is the correlation? There seems to be a correlation, or I think there's a correlation, between geniuses and high-functioning autism.
I don't think that's it. I would say, by the way, 1 out of 6 of my colleagues is probably on the spectrum. There may be a correlation, but I have an easier explanation for it. Okay? If you're on the spectrum,
Yes.
you could focus like it's nobody's business
Okay.
because you don't have other people distracting you.
Yes.
You're not showing up on podcasts.
Yes.
You're not hosting your own podcast.
Correct.
You're not the life of the party.
Right.
In fact, you're not going to any party at all.
At all.
So another genius who might be socialized
Right.
is not so focused as the unsocialized person on the spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
So it's easy for me to think instead that social geniuses never ascend to the highest heights they could have intellectually because they're too distracted living their life.
Okay. So,
Whereas on the spectrum,
Yeah.
you could be in the lab and forget to pee.
Right.
Right? Your personal hygiene doesn't even come up, all right, as a priority, given how focused you are.
Einstein. You believe he was on the spectrum?
You know, you look back now because we didn't have that vocabulary back
Right.
then. We didn't know what to call people. Plenty of people I grew up with, it's easy to retroactively declare.
Yes.
They're on the spectrum. I don't know. I don't think he was. Because he had an awareness and a sensitivity to, well, I don't want to generalize everybody on the autism spectrum. It's so, the symptoms are so varied. But in terms of seeing what people think and feel and do, when he was at Princeton,
Yes.
Marian Anderson came through town. She couldn't stay in the Nassau Inn, which is the hotel
Yes.
in town. He put her up. He put her up. Black opera singer.
Yes.
He's written about the plight of black people, and he noticed some similarities between the plight of Jews in Hitler Europe and the plight of black people in America, and made these correlations. You have to be aware of the human condition and the interplay and the geopolitics on a level that I've not seen deeper autistically affected people manifest. I just haven't seen it. But I don't claim to be an expert there. But yeah.
It's funny that you said that because in his famous visit to Lincoln University in 1946 to teach a physics class,
Lincoln University and HBCU.
Yes, absolutely. He
Historically black college and university.
Historically black college. I went to one. I'm an HBCU.
Oh, yeah?
alum.
Which one? Where'd you go to?
Savannah State.
Is that right? Okay,
I did.
cool. You recruited right out of there?
I did.
All right.
And black students and calling racism a disease of white people.
Yeah. Yeah, he said that.
He did.
Yes. Yeah. So,
How is it?
for him to even know that, to say it, have the incentive, the motivation to go to an HBCU.
Yes.
This is why I'm saying I don't see that when you're that, if you're into yourself and into your lab, you don't tend to behave that way. So
Right.
I don't, he might have been an empath
Right.
on that level.
Right.
Which is kind of the opposite.
Because for him to be so brilliant and to be obviously from another country and to see the plight, just come over here and just for a little while. He didn't have to be here 10 years, 15, 20 years. He come for a very limited amount of time. And he
observe.
could see
And he observed.
what many say they don't even exist to this day.
He saw it immediately.
Unfortunately, you don't have to be Einstein to see it. You know what?
Was that all a setup just for you to say that line? See, this is. You made me sit through that whole explanation.
If you could, would you want to live forever?
No. No. Can I tell you why?
Why? You don't want to be like Methuselah?
He lived to 956.
Yes!
That wasn't forever.
Well, that's 956. I mean, I got,
It's still a long time.
as a matter of fact, I got 892 years to go.
It's a long time. It's a long time. I think it was 956.
Yeah. And somebody, I think he wasn't the longest. I think somebody else lived longer than
No,
he
no.
did.
A lot of people lived in their 900s.
Yes.
In the Bible.
Yeah, why? You wouldn't want to be. Okay. What about 475?
Didn't I say I was about to explain?
Okay, I would hear
Okay.
this. I would hear this.
All right, ready?
Yes.
in life, I don't search for meaning, as so many people do.
Right.
Like you might find it, under a rock or
Right.
behind a tree.
Yeah.
I manufacture
Right.
meaning in life.
Okay.
You have the power to do this.
Okay.
So part of me wants to, every day, as is possible, lessen the suffering of others. Every day I want to learn something that I didn't know the day before. Every day I want to have a new thought, empowered by the new knowledge I gleaned from what I learned today. If someone does me a favor and says, when are you going to pay me back? I say, I'm not. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pass it forward. So that rivers of favors move through civilization. The moment you pay back a favor, it closes off and that's the end of it.
Right.
But if you do that favor for someone else and they do it for someone else,
Oh.
the favor never stops moving.
Yeah. But I'm gonna need my favor back. I'm gonna need my $500 back. Though.
$500. I will get in your sordid past.
I'll do a favor for somebody else.
I don't know what happened in your past. Don't involve me in your debts. Okay? So, now, knowledge you're going to die,
Right.
kind of puts some urgency in what you're doing today.
Absolutely.
Doesn't it?
Yes.
Okay? Let me give an example. If you're going to bring flowers to a loved one, you're going to go to a florist or are you going to go to a place and buy plastic flowers? What are you going to do?
I'll go to florist.
Wait a minute, the flowers die. Why not get plastic flowers and they live forever? You know not to get plastic flowers because if they live forever, there's no urgency to devote any attention to them at all today.
Right.
Because they're going to be around tomorrow.
Right.
Whereas flowers, they'll all be dead in 10 days.
Right.
Probably 7.
And then the smell, it's
You are compelled to pay attention
yes.
in the 7 days at most that you have that vase of flowers. Knowledge of the death compels you to give of yourself to it. So, look at dogs. You go out to the mailbox and come back, the dog is jumping, licking you in the face.
Like he ain't seen you
Like
in weeks.
Weeks, okay?
Absolutely.
Why is that? Wait a minute. What's that calculation? The human to dog years? It's like 7 to 1.
Yep.
Let's use 7.
Yep.
There's some more complex versions of that,
Yes.
but it's basically 7 to 1.
Yes.
Dog lived 14 years, you lived to 84.
Yeah.
Okay, 85,
Yeah.
something like that. All right. Did I do the math on that right? No, I didn't. 7, 14, 70, 28. You might live to 90. Yeah, 98.
Oh.
Okay, fine, but around there.
Yes.
Could it be that every day a dog lives is really a week? It's a 7 to 1 ratio.
Right.
Think about that.
Yes.
They're living an entire week of their lives in one day. So they're making their lives count. Either explicitly or implicitly, they know they're going to die. And so to express enthusiasm and joy. In fact, I don't think we deserve dogs.
No.
Just ask yourself.
They're amazing.
Were you ever the hero your dog thought you were?
No. No. No.
No.
'Cause I'm the greatest thing it has ever known. And the same token,
As they
most
say,
flawed
man's best friend, which no one has ever said of cats.
Yeah.
Okay.
What if the dog only knew?
Anytime I'm around cats, I feel like they're exploiting me for some reason.
Why is it that we think cats are sneaky? It feels like they're always up to no good. They always hiding up under something, them padded feet. They're like,
I know, right. They're sneaky.
and then they rub up against. Where you come from?
Because they want something from you. All right, so here's my point. If knowing I'm going to die boosts the meaning of my life in my remaining days, then mathematically, living forever is to live a life of no meaning at all.
Because we knew if it lived forever, we have no sense of urgency.
You could just do it tomorrow.
Right.
What kind of hell life would that be?
You're right.
Not only that, the population of Earth would grow rapidly and we'd outstrip its resources, and we don't have another planet to live on.
And then we die anyway.
You die anyway. And when you're most creative, it's when you're youngest.
Yes.
If we have the population where everybody's old,
we ain't getting that done.
nothing new under the sun there.
Right.
You'll be living in your wealth.
Yes.
And it's the hungry younger folks that are trying to make a new thing in the world, and they're outnumbered 1,000 to 1 by old people. That's not a world you want to live in.
I like it.
So take kindly the counsel of the years, gracefully surrendering the things of youth.
Are you afraid of dying?
Don't you want to ask me where I got that quote from?
Who gave you that quote? You made it up.
I wish I did, but it's Desiderata.
Desiderata.
It was a big thing back in the 70s.
Right.
I had a handwritten copy in my wallet.
Yeah.
I memorized. Go placidly amid the noise and haste, remembering what peace there may be in silence. As far as possible without surrender, be on good terms with all persons. It's the track that has the line, somebody turned it into a song in the 1970s. You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars, and you have a right to be here. It was wisdom that I didn't even know could exist when I was 12 years old. And for me, it's part of how I've thought about getting old. Take kindly the counsel of the years.
But you don't fear death.
I fear.
Do you think about it?
I fear living a life where I could have accomplished more. That would be a shame, wouldn't it?
Yes.
And so I'm driven, and I want this on my tombstone, by a quote from Horace Mann, great educator from the 19th century. You've heard the name, even if you didn't know.
I have heard the name.
You all know the name.
Yes.
Schools named after him and
Yes.
everything. He was also a university president. For his farewell speech, it includes this line. I beseech you, love that word, nobody uses it anymore.
No.
Very 19th century. I beseech you to treasure up in your hearts these, my parting words. Be ashamed to die until you have won some victory for humanity. That's my credo. I don't want to live forever. Make room for the next round.
But you want to accomplish as much as you can.
Yes, and I still have a lot. I got a list. I ain't done yet.
Wow. Sun color. What color is the sun?
White.
Why it look yellow?
Oh, because in the middle of the day, it's so bright, it will burn out your eyes. So when you look at the sun, when it's low on the horizon,
Right.
when there's a lot of crap in the air, smoke and pollen and
Right.
dust, and what it does is it filters out the blue light. The sun gives all the colors of the spectrum: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet. The atmosphere filters out the blue, indigo, violet, scatters it into the sky, turning the sky blue.
Right.
Well, if you take red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet, take out the blue, you're left with red, orange, yellow.
Right.
That's why sunsets are red, orange, yellow. That's the light that's left over after the atmosphere filtered out everything else. So, and leaving everyone to think the sun is yellow. And they draw it that way in pictures and everything.
Yeah.
It's a shame, but it's
When
white.
I'm sure you were told the same thing I was told. Boy, don't look at the sun, you're gonna go blind.
Right. Your body is pretty good at preventing that.
Yes.
But
It'll make you blink,
just try not to look at the sun. Yeah. Yeah. Look at the things that the sun illuminates in your life.
Yes. Gravity.
Get used to it. It's a property of matter and energy. And I like gravity because there are times when I need it to keep me grounded, and it does.
Wow. What if could we exist if the Earth had the moon's gravity?
No. Because we'd lose our atmosphere. And we'd suffocate. If you put Earth's atmosphere on the moon, it would evaporate away. Earth's gravity is enough, because the particles are moving at certain speeds.
Right.
All those speeds are less than the escape velocity of the Earth. Okay. If you put this atmosphere on the moon, the gravity of the moon is not so strong.
Right.
They'd all just escape into space. So no, you need at least Earth's gravity.
Right.
You could do a little less, a little more,
right,
but not much less.
Right. Did an asteroid really kill the dinosaurs?
Oh, yeah.
It really did.
Oh, yeah. Or something else killed it, and it just happened to be at the same time a Mount Everest-sized rock slammed into the Earth. Okay? We have the smoke and the gun.
Right.
Of that incident.
So we have empirical data that says 10 million years ago, this big meteorite, the size of Mount Everest.
Here you go. You ready?
Yes.
Dinosaurs went extinct 65 million years ago.
65, okay.
You look at the fossil record, the geologists tell you here's 10 million years ago, 20, 30, 65 million years ago. One layer below that,
yeah,
dinosaurs. One layer above it, no dinosaurs. They went extinct abruptly, maybe over 1,000 years, but it's abrupt in a thing. They went extinct there.
Right.
What happened there? I don't know. Let's look around. Could it be volcanoes? Well, there are always volcanoes. Could it be this? Could it be that? And then they found iridium in that layer of the...
Iridium is what?
It is an element on the periodic table that is common in metallic asteroids. And it's only at that layer. Not before it, not after it. And it's everywhere in the world. How are you going to lay down a layer of iridium everywhere in the world at the same time?
So dinosaurs walked the entire Earth.
Yes.
There is not a place on Earth that was not inhibited by some form of dinosaur. Inhabited.
Yes. They might have been inhibited.
Inhabited.
That's a different thing.
Yes, inhabited.
The Inhibition Island, and then they inhibited, whatever. So there might have been some areas, but there are dinosaurs in the Gobi Desert, in North America.
Okay.
In, I assume South America. No reason why they couldn't have gotten there.
Right.
And so, point is, the asteroid hit.
Right.
Well, how do you get iridium on the other side? It hits with such energy that the whole thing vaporizes. It turns into meteor dust, goes into the stratosphere, and cloaks Earth, blocking sunlight, taking out the base of the food chain, and sending a wave of extinction that percolates across the tree of life. Have a nice day. But wait a minute. We're just inferring there was a metallic asteroid because there's just this layer.
Right.
Some years later, some oil company drilling in the Gulf, they found this anomaly under the ocean, this wall of dense rock. And they kept following it, and it made a circle. Was it 200 miles in circumference? Some huge circle.
Wow.
They said, wait a minute. When was that circle made? 65 million years ago. Holy shit. Ain't that something? So the iridium was the smoke. The crater was and we know how big craters are made based on the size of the asteroid. So we can tell how big the asteroid was. And that it gave a boost to our studies of climate change.
Right.
Where something can happen here and affect climate around the world.
Wow. What determined what dinosaurs were able to fly, what dinosaurs lived in the water, what dinosaurs walked upright, what dinosaurs had four? Do we have any idea?
The problem is we have only one word for all of them, but they all have their own species names.
Yeah, right.
And just like different
T-Rex,
species.
pterodactyl.
Yeah. Just like we different species, can fly or walk or burrow or whatever.
Right.
So don't be so impressed that they had different features. Right. We're mammals just the way mice are.
Right.
But mice will dig a hole and live in a hole.
Right.
I don't see you doing that. So
I might have to, though.
So here's something to contemplate.
Okay.
Do you remember this dinosaur? Which one? This one? Stegosaurus. That's the one with the armor plates.
Yeah, go down his back.
Okay. Do you realize that we are closer in time to the extinction of the dinosaurs than the extinction of the dinosaurs are to the extinction of Stegosaurus? So we're here. Here's the extinction of T-Rex.
Okay.
Here's the extinction of T-Rex. Here's the extinction of Stegosaurus.
Wow.
So the dinosaurs just got unlucky.
Right.
They were around for hundreds of millions of years, and a dinosaur takes them out. This Stegosaurus went extinct for other reasons. An asteroid takes out the dinosaurs, and they'd still be here if an asteroid didn't come.
But
We'd be having this podcast interview where we need to put a tail through the thing.
But do we know were people around at that point in time?
No, unless you're religious. Orthodox Christian.
Right.
Because they will tell you, I don't need to do their bidding here, but they will tell you that Noah's Ark had dinosaurs. Or reptiles that are of the same order as dinosaurs, and that humans coexisted with dinosaurs. So if you go to the Christian parks, theme parks, there are theme rides where you ride the back of a dinosaur.
Right.
And so this is what you think about the world when you don't have science. Yeah.
What is the most impressive creature that's ever walked Earth? Or crawled, flew. It could be a mammal, it can be an insect, it can be a whatever. To your best guess estimate.
I've always been impressed with snakes. Let's do the same example we did with the alien, okay? Only 24 people have ever seen snakes. They start testifying. You gotta believe me. There's this animal, it's just a tube. It's a thing. But it could chase you down the street. It's got no arms and no legs. And it can move as fast as you can walk. And it's got a head that can eat something 5 times bigger than its head. It can dislocate its jaws and eat this. Yeah. It can eat an entire egg bigger than its head. No. And it can stalk its prey with infrared rays. What the hell are you talking about? And then you get them to draw it, and it'll be some stupid drawing that nobody understands.
Right.
It's a snake. I think snakes are... Oh, and if it bites you, you die.
Right.
Some of them, right?
Yeah. Some constrict.
Right. So I'm impressed what a snake can do without any arms and legs.
Well, help me understand roaches. Because them jokers, they've been around as long as the dinosaurs.
They will outlive us.
Why they didn't go extinct? Why did the asteroid that wiped them jokers out? And it's the same thing.
You know, you can't just have your way with the tree of life. It's not for you to nip, tuck, and edit and delete. You know.
I was reading.
Wait, that same tree of life gave us roses.
Yeah, I take the roses.
And puppy dogs.
Yeah.
And, well, we made puppies, but
I could do without the roaches and the ants. Well, no, probably not the ants.
Actually, you realize the insect population is dropping in the world. Roaches are at an all-time low. When's the last time you saw a roach?
Well, considering where I live at, I hope I don't see one because I'm going to have a problem if I do. I saw a bunch of them when I was growing up.
Right.
Saw too many.
Okay, do you have any friends back when you were growing up?
Yes.
Do you visit them recently?
I do not.
You do not? That's bad. Okay, you know that's bad.
Yeah.
Okay, go back there and see if you see any roaches. They've been on the exit.
They've been on decline, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, what happened to them?
It's a mystery. Mystery to me, I think even to the insect people. Insect population has been waning.
You know what I didn't know, Doc?
It's not always good. It's because some insects pollinate flowers,
yes.
you know.
Yeah, I want the bees. Bees got to stay.
Insects do their business.
But, you know, even ants, like you said, ants, you know, they eat dead things and they help clean up because, you know, I used to think about like, man, why buzzards, vultures? We call them buzzards. I don't know if they're the same thing. I was like, man, why we need those? But then you understand if something died and it was just left to go away by itself.
Yeah. Plus, mosquitoes and gnats.
Yeah.
Are food for bats.
Yes.
All right. You knock something out of the food chain.
It impacts something else.
It's going to impact something else.
Yeah. Is it true? Because I don't know if this is true, and I think it is. They said like if you kill an ant, it will release a pheromone, and his homeboys say, "Man, Johnny got dealt with," and they come look for the body. That's why you see like when you kill one, you see like.
I don't know enough about. I got experts.
Okay.
In my museum who would know this, the American Museum of Natural History.
Okay.
But I don't know about the ants.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you this about ants.
What about it? They smart.
Well, I was taught in school that humans have the biggest brain relative to our body size.
Right.
Which requires a bit of arithmetic.
Yeah.
To be at the top of that list.
Right.
You have to weigh the brain,
Right.
weigh the body, divide those two numbers.
Right.
Now you plot that. We're at the top.
Okay.
We don't have the biggest brain. Biggest brain is whales. Next is dolphins.
Yeah.
Or porpoises. Next is elephants. And we're fourth. Okay. In terms of brain to body weight ratio,
Yeah.
we're at the top, but only for mammals. And they didn't tell me that in school.
Wow.
Do you realize there's certain mid-sized birds that have a higher brain to body weight ratio than we do?
Really?
Yes. You know how they get away with that? Because birds are light.
Right.
And the bones are very fragile.
Fragile. Yes.
Okay? So, mid-sized, like the magpie.
Yeah.
And certain parrots.
Yeah. Heckle and Jekyll were magpies. People think they were crows. They were magpies.
Oh, what?
Yes.
You don't mean from Dumbo?
Yeah. Heckle and Jekyll. You remember Heckle and Jekyll? They're magpies.
From Dumbo? No, those were crows.
Crows. No, what was the Heckle and Jekyll on?
Heckle and Jekyll.
You remember Heckle and Jekyll?
I just remember the crows.
Yeah, you want to know what?
What were they from? Heckle and Jekyll.
No, Heckle and Jekyll are magpies. There's a difference.
No, I
between
get that,
the
but I just want to know what movie they're from.
They had their own series.
Yeah, this was just like a 20th century fire. You talking about the cartoon?
Yeah.
Okay. So magpies, yeah. So have you ever seen the video of the magpie drinking?
Mm-mm.
Look it up. There's one of these sort of half-liter plastic bottles of water.
Yes.
The kind anybody carries around.
Yes.
It's sitting there they're like park benches. It's sitting there on the ground. The magpie goes up to it, drinks water, and the water level drops until the beak can't reach the water anymore.
Right.
It comes out, goes, gets a pebble, drops the pebble in, raises the water level, drinks some more. Does this 3 or 4 times. What human would figure that out? So brains, they have a higher brain to body weight ratio than we do.
Wow.
Do you know who has the highest? Are certain species of ants.
Really?
Yes. Which, that's not hard to embrace because you've seen ants.
Yeah, they're not very big.
They're not very big, but they have some big old head ants.
Yeah.
There's some ants with some big old heads.
Yeah. You got the bull ants. You ever seen those bull ants? They call them velvet ants. They're in the fields with bulls in the South. Probably. You're not. But they're called velvet ants because if you feel them, I wouldn't recommend you feel them, but they look like it's velvet. We call them bull ants, but I think the common term is the velvet ant. Mm-hmm. And they're about this big. They're big. They're a little whopper on you, doc.
Right.
I'm telling you, they're
right. So all I'm saying is if an alien came and cared about brains,
yes,
they wouldn't come to us first.
Like the Predator.
They go to the whale.
Yeah.
Okay, we would be fourth on that list.
Yeah.
If they cared about brain to body weight ratio, then they go to ants first.
Okay.
We're not near the top of that list.
So we're not as by your theory and recollection and we're not as high up as we think we are.
Our ego knows no bounds. That's all I can say.
Is there a new virus? Is there something look, we had COVID 6 years ago. Is there something else coming down? Because every year we seem like we go through something, be it, what's this? We had Zika and we had West Nile and we had Ebola and we had COVID.
All I can say is whatever it is, we ain't ready for it. So, we still have anti-vaxxers running around.
Yes.
I don't trust scientists. I saw a YouTube video, so I'm not going to take it. It's like, what? So.
Well, it used to be you had to go to school. You had to there are certain vaccines you had to get.
I'm going to tell you a story, and I don't want you to ever forget this story.
Okay.
20,000 years ago, we're in the cave.
Yes.
Do you know what the life expectancy was?
10 years, 15 years,
30.
30.
30.
30.
Half of everyone born was dead before they were 30.
Wow.
Fast forward to 1840.
Right.
1840, that's a long time.
Yes.
From 20,000 years ago.
Yes.
Half of everyone born in the world was dead by the age of 34, 35. We gained 5 years life expectancy.
Wow.
And every one of them ate organic, breathed clean air.
Yes.
Drank fresh water.
Yes. There was no
ate free range
Yes.
game. Science matters here.
Right.
We've doubled the life expectancy with antibiotics, vaccines, and sanitation. Mm-hmm. The three biggest forces operating on our longevity. So to come around and say, I don't need vaccines because I'm not getting sick, that's like saying, why are you using dandruff shampoo? You don't have dandruff.
Well, I don't want to get it.
That's my point. If you're successful, people think you don't need it, when that's what's creating the ongoing success in the first place.
Were they like when all this when all these scientists was coming up with these inventions, these great inventions, antibiotics that all this stuff that helped polio and wiped out all these
vaccines.
Vaccines. Were they deniers back then? As much as
there were some people who did not want to be vaccinated.
Okay.
Especially since the way they made vaccines back then, it would be from a live virus, so there was a risk. There's some risk factors.
Of course.
There was an anti-vax movement from the beginning. Nothing as organized and as effective as it is now. Right. So
I don't even know how you want to talk about this, but Terrence Howard, you responded to him because you don't really respond to a whole lot of people. But I guess
that's a good point. So, my mother heard Terrence Howard on NPR.
Okay.
He had some new series coming out. It might have even been the not Empire. What was it called that he was in?
Yeah, who's in Empire?
Yeah. And it was on NPR, and they talked about his early childhood, and he said he loved astronomy and telescopes in the night sky. And my mother heard this and said, "You should get him on your podcast,
Right.
Star Talk podcast."
Right.
Because back then we were interviewing a lot of celebrities, hence the name Star Talk.
Yes.
That's the double meaning there. And so I said, I'll keep it in mind. And so I started doing Cosmos, because I was on Fox.
Yes.
Yeah, and Cosmos was on Fox.
Yes.
And so I started, and we went to one of these Fox up fronts where they showcase their next season's product to advertisers. And so they bring all the celebs. So everybody's there, and I see Terrence Howard. I said, pleased to meet you. My mother described this to you. I said, I'd love to have you on my podcast. And he said, great. I'll send you my write-up. I was like, huh? What? Huh? And he sends me this 30-page document titled 1 × 1 = 2. Where he says all of math is wrong. He has a new math that we should use. And I thought to myself, he thought that I wanted to give him platform for this new idea that he had. And rather than just talk about his geeky underbelly as a science enthusiast.
Yes.
So a little bit is my fault for not knowing that that's what he was going to send my way.
Right.
He says this, so I felt obligated to reply.
Right.
I went line by line.
Right.
And I replied. And I kept my version of it, printout. Then he shows up on Joe Rogan.
Right.
And he said that I treated him badly or mean. I was mean to him. And even Joe Rogan said, are we talking about Neil deGrasse Tyson? Because that's not my MO.
Right.
That's not what I do. I'm not mean to people. And so my producer says, Neil, this is going viral. You have to reply. I said, I can't reply. I don't want to reply. You got to reply. So I got my document where all my comments are on it, and I go page by page and I show the audience where I was firm with him, where I was, take this, develop it here. This is not true. And your next page that depends on that is therefore not true. So I do this. It goes viral. And it ends up drawing more views than the original post that triggered me to do that by the prompting of my producers. So I figured, okay, my job is done here. That's all that happened. That's the beginning and end of that episode.
Is it really true that you told that James Cameron that he depicted the wrong nice guy?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Wrong guy in Titanic. There's Rose sitting there on the plank.
Yes.
And she's looking up. It's the wrong sky. I knew this instantly when I saw it. We know the day, the date, the time, the weather conditions, the longitude, the latitude of where the ship sank. There's only one sky she should have been seeing, and it was the wrong sky.
Can you enjoy anything without looking up in the sky and thinking about... I mean, because I watch a football game, I'm not a fan because I'm trying to figure out, okay, they scored a touchdown. How did they score a touchdown? How did this play gain this yards? How did they sack the quarterback? Should they have done this and that? Do you watch events? Do you watch things on television and you're looking at the surroundings more so than the event that's actually going on?
No, I'm looking at everything, ingesting everything I can. As just as a matter of curiosity, I ingest everything. I'm watching a football game. I said, oh, the tush push. Interesting physics there.
Right.
Then I hear people describe it, and it's all wrong. I had to post my own video on the tush push.
So what
NFL Films came to my office to film me explaining the tush push. Yes. Because everyone they thought Jalen, what's his name?
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts, because they say he can
squat 600 pounds.
It had nothing to do with him with the tush push.
That ain't got nothing to do with it.
The moment he leaves the ground, what he squats had nothing to do with anything.
Because he ain't getting no push.
Because what matters at that point, once he's left the ground, it are the two linemen who feet are on the ground who are pushing each butt cheek.
Right.
That's you want to ask them, how much can they bench? Or, no, how much they squat?
Right.
That's what you want to know, because they're the ones doing the pushing against Earth. He's just this floating object there who happens to be holding the ball. So I had to set that record straight. So I watch it and I pay attention. Yeah.
From a physics perspective, which is more impressive, shooting a three-pointer, throwing a touchdown in the NFL, or a pitcher throwing a strike in MLB?
It's got to be the football quarterback throwing. Because think about it. There are people who want to harm the quarterback.
Absolutely.
While that's happening.
Yes.
Okay? Let's just start there. Then there's this spin-stabilized projectile.
Yes.
The football. He needs to throw it to where his receiver will be when the ball gets there.
You're right.
He's not throwing it at his receiver.
Right. He's throwing it and anticipating where he's going to be.
The commentators never say this correctly. He threw it to this receiver? No, he threw it to where the receiver and the football would be at the same time. And the guy's got to catch it. People trying to prevent him from catching it. And when he catches it, he wants to still run.
Right.
So
they're preventing you from trying to prevent you from throwing it.
There are fewer successful passes in a football game than pitchers throwing strikes.
You know you're going to cause some confusion with this.
No, it's hard to hit the ball.
Right.
You didn't ask me about hitting the ball. You just said throwing throwing a strike.
Yeah. What is harder? To throw a baseball 100 miles an hour for a strike because you're 60 feet 6 inches from the home plate? That plate is a little bit wider than these cards.
Or
shooting a basketball from, say, 30 feet out, a three-point shot, or throwing that said football. I've had time, Deion Sanders said the hardest thing to do in sports is to hit a baseball. Bo Jackson, who played both sports.
You still haven't asked me about hitting the ball. You're still asking me about the pitcher.
Okay, what's the hardest thing to do in sports?
to hit the ball. Here's a conversation. I've wanted to like write a play.
Yeah.
A very short skit.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yes.
Okay. There's a baseball player.
Yeah.
And a golfer.
Yes.
They don't know anything about each other's sports.
Yes.
And they're standing there having a conversation.
Okay.
And the baseball player says, so how fast is the ball moving when you hit it? Not at all. Mm-hmm. Well, where is it? It's right in front of me.
Right. Right. Okay.
Okay. How big is the thing you're hitting it with? It's about
Maybe the size of my fist.
it's about 5 times bigger than the ball itself. Right. Are crowds cheering you on? No, they're silent.
They're silent.
Because I have to concentrate.
That's right.
How about you? What do you do? How fast is the ball stationary at your feet? No, it's moving 90 miles an hour. Oh, who threw it? A pitcher. Does he want you to hit it? No. He's doing everything he can to prevent me from hitting it.
Right.
Okay? And, well, that clearly takes concentration.
Yes.
Do they silence the crowd? No, they're screaming at the top of their lungs.
Right.
You can't get me to respect golf in the face of those facts.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm sorry. I can't. And they're wearing cleats, and somebody else carries their. I just can't. I know some people out there.
The caddies carry the clubs.
The people out there love them some golf.
Yeah.
I get. I'm there, fine, but I don't have to.
Right.
Okay. Now about basketball, the rim area is 4 times the area of a basketball.
Wow.
You could take 2 basketballs and drop them through the rim simultaneously.
Really?
Yes. Yes. That's why people do slam dunks, 360 slam dunks, and it doesn't have to actually be that precise.
Right.
Because the area of this is 4 times the cross-sectional area of a basketball.
Wow.
I show this. We have one of my episodes is with the Harlem Globetrotters.
Right.
And I pick up, is he still there? Hot Shot. There's a guy who's a midget who plays for them. It's called.
You got to say dwarf. You got to say little person or dwarf.
Midget's not a thing anymore?
No,
Yeah.
no.
Okay.
It's a derogatory term.
Even dwarf. Dwarf is
No,
not-
you can say dwarf or little person.
Is that right?
They
Okay.
prefer little person, but dwarf is
Okay,
acceptable.
yeah. So one of their players is a dwarf.
Yeah.
And he's 4'5" or something like
Okay.
that. And so, but anyhow, so we picked him up and he had the 2 basketballs and we showed that 2 basketballs can fit through the rim at the same time. So, okay, so I'm saying it's easier to make the shot.
Right.
That's why in basketball they score, 100 points.
Right.
Or at least 50 baskets.
Right.
But you don't score 100 runs in a
Baseball game. Or 100 points.
In a football game. Yeah.
And I'm going to get you out of here. I want to talk a little about your childhood. When did you know your brain and as a child, you were different than other kids?
I didn't think about it that way.
You didn't.
Not just.
But the kids thought about it because the kids know, like, well, damn, Neil knows everything.
Well, no, because in school, are you smart in school? That means you'd get high grades?
Yeah.
I had like average grades in school.
Average doesn't become an astrophysicist. Average doesn't get a physics degree from Harvard or a PhD in astrophysics and all these other these merits. That's not average, doc. And graduate magna summa over.
No, I wasn't any of the Latin graduations. What I did do it, you gave me a full intro there.
Yes.
What you missed, I have 27 honorary doctorates.
Yes.
I don't know if that was in there.
No.
Yeah. But don't be impressed by that. Be impressed by the fact that I sat through 27 graduations. I want that to impress you. Okay?
Did your parents know you were different? Did you? I mean, were you a normal child?
Only later did I look back and say, "Oh my gosh, here's what it is." My brother,
Yes.
they put in the Boy Scouts. My sister, they put in the Girl Scouts.
Right.
They didn't put me in anything. As a kid, I was very focused. I had hobbies.
Yeah.
If you put me in the Boy Scouts, that would get rid of my hobbies.
Right.
All right. I built balsa wood airplanes, gliders. I designed them. I just did stuff.
Right.
I wasn't just out in the street doing nothing.
Did you always know that you wanted to be?
From age 9, yes. A first visit to the Hayden Planetarium that I now serve as director of.
Was sports? Did you play sports?
Yes. Yes, I did. Okay. And I would later conclude that I played sports and was good at it more for the expectations of society than for my own fulfillment. Black man, don't do an astrophysics thing. We have the basketball. Here's some sporting things. Do this.
Right.
And we'll give you a ride home.
Right.
And we'll give you the...
Yes.
So I ran pretty fast.
Right.
Typically third fastest in my school. I was in 9th grade when I could slam dunk for the first time.
Dang.
Yes. I have big hands. So hold your hands. Yeah. So
Yeah, you got hands.
yeah. So my hands were about the same size. I
Yeah.
think. Yeah. Oh, that camera probably got it. Yeah.
So you were the high.
Because dunking, you have to control the ball.
Right, correct.
You can't just go up and have the ball float with
Right.
you. Right. So that was little benchmarks
Right.
in my life. And then I wrestle. I started wrestling.
Right.
In high school, I was undefeated and captain of my team. Wow. And then I got to college. Then you meet corn-fed boys from Iowa. That's a whole other nother right there. So I had a losing record in college, but I was undefeated in high school.
Right.
But I loved the sport, so I didn't care that I wasn't winning everything. That I cared that I had an opponent, and if they beat me, they were better than I was.
Right.
And that's reason to try to get better yourself.
Correct.
Okay. So, and then in college, like I said, I continued wrestling.
Right.
I was also a performing member of 3 different dance companies. So I also danced. So I did all of this. Yeah.
You've lived a very fulfilling life. Is it a very fulfilling life?
Oh, one other thing.
Right.
In high school,
Yes.
one of my friends was ball boy for the New York Knicks. I happened to have the same size feet as Walt Frazier. Walt Frazier had a Puma contract.
Yes.
Would
Yes.
throw away his Pumas after every homestand.
Yeah.
My boy picked them out,
Brought him to you.
brought them to me. I was wearing Clyde Frazier's Pumas for about a year and a half.
Wow.
Yeah. That was fun. The size was 12 and a half at the time.
Right. So does your brother, your siblings, do they have the capacity of knowledge or?
They're not academic, if that's what you mean.
Yeah.
Well, my brother is academic. He's an artist and also academic.
Okay.
He teaches art.
Okay.
Yeah. And my sister is a complete sellout. She went into corporate America.
Okay.
She got an MBA, you know. Somebody's got to make the money.
Right.
In the family.
I'm gonna get you out of here on this. They say this generation of kids, because it seems like every generation was getting smarter, and it seems like this Gen Z is going to be the first generation that ain't going to happen for.
Well, IQ scores have been going up, but they think that was for a different reason.
Okay.
But I don't think whatever we declare is what makes someone smart.
Okay.
It could be different for a different generation because they got other things. They have other values. They got other sources of entertainment. And so, no, I don't want to be entertained the way my parents were entertained.
Right.
I got my own generation of entertainment. So I'm not that guy who says, get off my lawn, you young whippersnappers. Yeah. In my day, we did it right. You guys, no, I'm not ever going to be that guy.
Okay.
No.
But has the computer, the internet, has it slowed down learning? Because now you used to have to go to the book, you had to do things up.
Go to the library.
Yes. Now I can just hit ChatGPT, tell me.
Yeah, so I was at a dinner party once.
Yeah.
And one of these fancy ones where there's servants and things.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting next to a guy, kind of geeky, maybe low 30s. He works in tech.
Yeah.
He asked me, Neil, when have aliens visited us? And so I start replying.
Yeah.
But he's not paying attention. He's looking down
It is.
at his phone. And it's rude. So I said, maybe he'll look up, maybe there's some emergency. But he kept looking down.
Right.
And after like 2 minutes, I said, what are you doing? He said, I asked ChatGPT how you would answer that question, and I'm comparing
What you're saying to what it
I said, how am I doing? He said, oh, you're doing fine.
Is this the last one?
What?
Does time accelerate as we get older, or does it slow down?
No, time is only affected by, I mean, emotionally, psychologically, maybe, but if you put timers in you,
Yes.
they're not affected by it at all.
Right.
And I remember when we were young, summer vacation felt so long.
Yes.
You know, and
I couldn't wait to get grown. I'm like, man, I can't wait to get grown. Now I'm like, time, slow down. I was just talking to my sister on the way coming over here. I said, you know
go
what?
fast.
We're the age of old people. We used to say, oh, man,
I found that out last November. I'm at Thanksgiving, and we usually go to the old people to say grace, and I'm looking around. I'm the old person.
Yes.
When did that happen? Who authorized? Who gave permission for me to be the oldest dude at the table?
Yep.
No.
Yep.
So I had to adjust to that. That was an adjustment.
Doc, thanks for coming by. I appreciate your time.
Man.
Neil deGrasse Tyson. Thank you so much.
man.
I appreciate that. That was unbelievable.
All right.
Thank you again, Double Barrel and the Whiskey Shop in Beverly Hills, for hosting us today. With over 3,000 different types of whiskey, the Double Barrel has everything you need, and it's a full shop lounge, so you can actually try before you buy. Family run and operated with locations in Calabasas at Saddle Peak Lounge and here in Beverly Hills. The Double Barrel and Whiskey Shop is the place for all your whiskey needs. Thank you again to the Double Barrel and Whiskey Shop for having us.
All my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle paid the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice, that's why. All my life, I've been grinding all my life. Look, all my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle paid the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice, that's why.